Alright, we made it home. Let's classify the concentrates out, run them over this cleanup sluice, and see what goal we got. Maybe run it over the Miller table too, I'm not sure yet. While we're running this, we'll work on that pump and engine a little bit, and a little bit on the Highbanker, and fun little day it's going to be. Alright, let's get to it. Okay, there's all the littles, a lot of black sand in there. And here's the bigs. There's a piece of glass. This wasn't all the bigs. I just added to the bigs that we had before from some of our prior outings. So sometime we're gonna go through all those bigs. I got some more someplace else, but let's get these little runs over the table. Alright, I started running. Got a bunch of ice in the tank. That'll thaw out today. It's supposed to be kind of warm. But I've only put 2 scoops in. I already see some gold. Let me turn the flash off. Maybe I can show them to you. There's one right there. You can see that. Where was the other one? One right there. Right there and right there. 2 little spoons, so this might be good. Let's find out. Alright, having fun. Alright, we're still running. I did a little work on that pump and motor. It fired right up, and I did some adjusting with the idler screw. I was turning the wrong one at the wrong time, but we got it figured out. I am seeing a couple little specks of gold in there, little flakes. So we're just going to keep running. It's good that we got that pump and motor going. Alright, high five. Now we got to work on this grizzly. This bar goes over here, of course. And we're not going to really mess with those bars. I think it was working well the way I had it, but this grizzly, you can see it. Let me show you. It kind of bends down there, and everything's getting trapped in here. But by the time it gets down here, it seems like everything's pretty washed. So I think what I'm going to do is just take this bolt out and put a longer one in to hold that up so it won't crease right there. Let's get that pried out of there because it's kind of wedged in there now, and do that. We'll get all this material out of here too and put it in a pan. That might be holding some gold. It's all roots and stuff. It's all roots and stuff, so we'll get that all out of there, put it in a pan, see what gold's in it, if there is any, and work on that grizzly. Alright. Okay, I got her all run. I split it into 2 runs. Got a nice flake right there. See that one? And there's gold here and there throughout it. So let's get this in the bucket also. I'm going to get it all in a pan and start having a look at it. Alright, pretty cool. Got her in a pan and gave her a quick pull back. Let me see if I can show you some of this gold. I see just a quick count and pulling it back very fast. I see about 50 pieces. There's one there. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the other stuff. See it in there? Down here in the black sand, I see it. So, I figured while we're out here in the shop, might as well get the Miller table out and push it over that Miller table. Maybe we'll classify it out with that very tiny screen I have first, and then maybe pan one and Miller table the other. Sounds like fun. Alright, let's do it. Classify before the Miller table. Most of the bigger stuff was just lights. I see a few bigger pieces of black sand, but we didn't really get a lot out of there running it through that little fine screen. So we'll throw this stuff over the Miller table. This stuff we'll put in a pan and pan out. And see how it looks. Stay tuned! Okay. Got the Miller table all set up here. I think it's got pretty good flow, but let's throw just a little on here and see. I see stuff moving off there. Maybe I dumped it in too big of a pile. We're still learning this Miller table. We'll let it just do its thing for a minute. Watch it for a bit. See if we gotta turn it up at all. Maybe just a little bit. Tiniest little bit. That might be too much. I turned it back down just a touch too. Alright. Looks like it's flowing pretty good. Got one little speck so far right off the end of my brush. Yeah, maybe you can see that right there. All right, we're gonna work at this. I won't bore you with the process of it, and keep on working on that high banker. I fixed that grizzly. Put a longer bolt on there, and it's all pretty rugged now. You really can't see that bolt in there, but it's 2.5 inches. It extends down to that plate. So now the grizzly will run up on the edge here. And I also riveted this hook on here. So I just pull it up a little bit and tip it, and it slides right out. That'll be nice and stable, so those rocks won't be sitting down here as much. I intentionally put the grizzlies so that the rocks would kind of catch on the edges there and slow them down a little bit. I don't mind pushing a few off from time to time. And all I have to do is, I'm not going to glue these spray bars in there permanently. I'll just kind of leave them loose in there so I can still take them out. So I can just twist them and take them out. That way I can get the grizzly out of there. So yeah, I think that'll work pretty good. And we got that engine running. Pretty cool. The only other thing I think I want to do is replace the bottom end of that sluice run with a different kind of matting that I have. Let me show you the matting I'm talking about over here. This stuff right here. Now those little grooves there, let me get in close. You see that? Direction of flows this way or the opposite way. That should hang on to some gold, so maybe we'll cut a piece out of that. I got a couple, 3-4 pieces here. I was hoping to have a bigger piece of vortex, but it's not wide enough because I cut a piece of it off for the cleanup sluice here. So I'm thinking about using a piece of this stuff in the bottom end of that box, because that gravity mat I can't get enough flow with it with that pumping motor. So if I do ever get a bigger pumping motor, then maybe I'll put it back in. But until then, I think I'm going to replace it with some of this stuff. We'll try that out. Alright, we made a few modifications to the high banker. Haven't got no legs done for it yet, but I thought we'd come over to the river and just set it up on our tailings and run that way. But as you can see, the river's way up. We've had a lot of melt. It's been warm, so... But I think we might be able to gather up a few larger rocks here and get it propped up, kind of, sorta. Maybe run a little material. We'll just dig in here. I got new batting in there, and the grizzly's up there right, so let's see what we can do right here. It might be a fail, but we're gonna try anyway. Alright, that water's high. Well, that mat seems to be working pretty good. I like it. Probably decrease the pitch a little bit. We'll do that and keep on digging. Well, I guess that's all the digging God had in store for me today. I put more gas in the pump, shut it off, put more gas in, pull over a few times, the pull cord broke, so I'll have to fix that. But this mat seems to be working pretty good. I can see the black sand capturing in there. It's not holding on to any really big stones, so pretty good. You got some black sand for that little bit of hole that we dug. So I guess that's it for the day. One quick run, at least we know the matting works. I like the grizzly. The stuff still sits on there. I got to move it around my hand, but that's okay. Gives that material time to wash, so I like it. I'm gonna have to do some legs. This actually worked pretty good on top of my sled, but that motor still needs some help. So let's get all this picked up and head back home. Oh, and again, we made it back home. Let's see the gold here. Got a few little pieces from today. Let me focus better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me count them off camera. Now there's like, I don't know, probably 10 pieces in there. I went through it pretty good, so that's all of it. About 10 pieces. Not too bad for that little run. Alright, gonna have to work on that pump. Well, alright, we got that all cleaned up over the Miller table and the cleanup sluice and vice versa, and had to do a little bit of painting, but check this out. This right here is a New York Smile, folks. I'm pretty happy with that. Let me turn this flash off, maybe it'll help. Not really. Zoom in maybe? Look at that. There's a New York Smile. There's a couple bigger flakes in there. Not too bad for the fussing around with the pump not running, the grizzly not working right, but we got that stuff figured out. Now all we gotta do is work on that pump. But there you go, New York Smile. Alright. I like that. It looks pretty good. Imagine if we can just keep on running. Alright. Get a quarter gram a day over there if we just run steady, I bet. Alright, folks. That was a lot of fun. Wasn't it? Glad you came along. Like, share, subscribe, all that funny, happy stuff. And until next time, have fun. As always, have fun.